A couple of hours later, he woke up to messages from a particular germaphobe. His fever intensified, and he heard noise coming from his kitchen. Atsumu then opened the messages. In messages. 9:30 a.m. I'm here. 9:44 a.m. I knocked and your friends were there. They told me you're sick. Make sure to get some rest. I'll tell coach you're sick. I thought Komori would have told you. Thanks though, thumbs up. Atsumu set his phone aside and attempted to rise. But he stumbled, reaching out to steady himself on his desk, using everything around him for support. He managed to pull himself upright and made his way to the living room. Atsumu felt a wave of soreness envelop his entire body, weakening him suddenly. His legs gave out, and he started to collapse. But just in time, Oikoa and Akashi rushed to his side, their quick reflexes catching him before he could hit the ground. They gently guided him to the nearby couch, carefully arranging blankets around him to ensure he was comfortable as he fought against the encroaching darkness of a faint. I'll have a huge headache. I know, now we gotta take care of this big baby, I guess. Akashi swiftly moved to fetch medicine from the nearby cabinet, selecting the appropriate remedies to alleviate his discomfort. Meanwhile, Oikoa gathered extra pillows, arranging them strategically around Atsumu to maximize his comfort. With care, Oikoa started preparing ginger honey haikyuu, a soothing porridge known for its calming properties. In the kitchen, both Akashi and Oikoa tended to the porridge, stirring it gently as it simmered on the stove. Meanwhile, Bakuto arrived, having picked up clothes for Akashi, and Hinata going to sit on the other couch in the living room. Atsumu, the short ginger whined. Yeah? How did you get sick? You're like one of the healthiest in our team. I was taking care of these two idiots. The man with dyed blonde hair raised his finger, and pointed at the two males who were diligently preparing his porridge. His expression remained deadpan, showing no hint of emotion on his face. OHH. You got to take care of yourself better. Says you. You big baby. The man with wide, owl-like eyes appeared to be pouting, his lips slightly downturned as he sat among the group. Hinata couldn't help but burst into laughter at the sight, his giggles echoing through the room. Atsumu, catching on to the humor, joined in with hearty laughter, which only seemed to deepen the pout on Bakuto's face. Despite his pout, Bakuto was clearly enjoying the banter, his eyes twinkling mischievously. They were all engaged in light-hearted joking and conversation, the atmosphere filled with camaraderie and playful teasing. Just then, the husband with the distinctive owl-like appearance returned with a tray of steaming porridge. With a gentle smile, he handed the bowl to Atsumu, who eagerly accepted it with a grateful nod. Be careful. It's hot. You don't want to burn yourself now, do you? The person with fluffy hair playfully teased. Atsumu blew gently on the steam rising from his porridge, taking slow bites as he listened to the lively banter of his four friends. His gaze often drifted towards Akashi and Bakuto, the affectionate duo who seemed to complement each other like yin and yang. Their easy camaraderie brought a smile to his lips, as he occasionally chimed in with a comment between spoonfuls of breakfast. Across from him, Oikoa suddenly whipped out his phone, aiming to capture the moment. Atsumu rolled his eyes playfully at Oikoa's antics, observing the tousled blonde hair that framed his slightly flushed face. The morning light cast a soft glow over the scene, capturing a snapshot. Delete that. I look gross. Nah. You look fine. I should post it on my Instagram. Don't. If you do, I'll post you. More clout. Yay. I look gross. I hate you. You look cute though. No, I don't. Well, we both have different opinions. Atsumu was sitting quietly when suddenly he began to sneeze uncontrollably, followed by persistent sniffling. It was evident that his cold had reached its peak. Seeing his discomfort, Hinata quickly got up, fetched a box of tissues, and handed them over to Atsumu, who gratefully accepted them, using them to blow his nose and wipe away his sniffles. I'm dying. You're so dramatic. Seriously. Says the one who can't confess. He got you there. Quite literally ate him up. Oikawa, overwhelmed by frustration, suddenly erupted into a tantrum. In a fit of anger, he lunged at Atsumu, who was caught off guard and tumbled off the couch, landing awkwardly but quickly bracing himself for whatever was to come. However, instead of further aggression, Oikawa's mood shifted unexpectedly. He started tickling Atsumu, whose initial surprise turned into uncontrollable laughter. Amidst the laughter, Atsumu couldn't contain himself and sneezed directly onto Oikawa, who recoiled in surprise, momentarily stunned. Oh god. Shit, I'm so sorry. On. My god. On. That's interesting. It's fine. Oikawa made his way to the restroom, with Atsumu close behind him. Atsumu, wearing fluffy socks, kept apologizing repeatedly, feeling incredibly sorry for accidentally sneezing on Oikawa. Meanwhile, in the living room, Bakuto and Hinata burst into laughter, thoroughly amused by the whole incident they had just witnessed. Akashi, standing nearby, looked just as stunned as Oikawa at the unexpected turn of events. I'm like so sorry. I said it's fine. Oikawa began applying Atsumu's skincare products, gently scrubbing his face to remove the remnants of snot. Atsumu watched with guilt weighing heavily on him for inadvertently sneezing on Oikawa, who appeared innocent and unaffected by the mishap. Overwhelmed with remorse, Atsumu found himself overthinking the situation, unsure of how to make amends. Despite feeling somewhat pathetic as he continued to apologize profusely to his friend, Atsumu's concern and care for Oikawa were unmistakable. What can I do to make you feel better? I actually feel horrible. I'll think about it. Atsumu was consumed with worry. So much so that he didn't notice his own fever creeping up until his vision began to blur. Despite feeling unwell, he persisted in helping Oikawa wash his face. However, as his condition worsened, Atsumu started to stumble. Hinata quickly noticed and rushed to his aid, supporting Atsumu by holding onto his waist to prevent him from falling. Shit. Are you okay? I'm fine. Really? I'm sure of it. You look like you're gonna pass out. Let me take him to bed. With practiced ease, Oikawa performed the single shoulder carry, lifting the barely conscious Atsumu, and carrying him gently to his room. Both athletes were accustomed to handling heavy loads from their rigorous training routines. As he supported Atsumu's weight, Oikawa couldn't help but feel sorry for his friend's vulnerable state. It was evident that Atsumu was battling bravely against his cold, evident from the symptoms of his high fever. After gently placing the exhausted Atsumu on his bed, Oikawa ensured he had everything he needed. He closed the door quietly and began to carefully remove Atsumu's clothes. Knowing comfort was key, Oikawa replaced them with soft pajama pants, a cozy shirt, and a warm sweater. He found a pair of socks and gently slipped them onto Atsumu's feet, feeling a sense of nurturing care akin to a mother dressing a reluctant child. Chuckling softly at Atsumu's stubbornness, Oikawa tucked him under the sheets, making sure he was snug and comfortable. Gathering up the soiled clothes, he left the room to deposit them in the laundry, ensuring everything was tidy and in order. Upon returning to the living room, Oikawa noticed Hinata looking visibly concerned. It was clear to Oikawa that Hinata harbored a slight crush on Atsumu, perhaps finding comfort in his company since Kajiyama wasn't around much. Oikawa couldn't help but consider that Hinata and Atsumu might make a cute couple, despite their vastly different personalities. However, he also realized that their contrasting types might pose challenges in a relationship. Hinata then turned to Oikawa and began asking if Atsumu was feeling any better. He's doing alright. Don't worry too much, Chibi-chan. You'll see your boy tomorrow. He's not my boy toy. I thought Shoyo was dating Kajiyama? That's what I thought too. But I guess not. I'm not. Plus he's dating someone. Who is the Great King dating? I heard it was a guy with white hair. I can't remember his name. It's with an H. Howard. I need to find your drug dealer ASAP. That's what I'm saying. Nah. We are changing the subject. I need a name. Now. It's Hoshumi. Oh. Him? Don't worry. What do you mean? Your great king is dense. He doesn't know when someone is flirting with him. Even I know when people are flirting with me. Maybe they are dating. Trust he doesn't have a boyfriend. Or lover. Alright. Atsumu slowly opened his eyes, recognizing the familiar sensation of being in a dream. This time, the setting was different yet strangely vivid. He found himself in a place with unfamiliar surroundings. But what caught his attention was the presence of the same man he encountered in his dream. This man had jet black hair that contrasted sharply with his piercing black eyes, coupled with a strong, muscular build that made him appear taller and more imposing than Atsumu. The situation felt eerily familiar to him. Another dream, occurring within the same day. Yet he didn't find it unsettling. They seemed to be in a coffee shop that oddly contained an empty library. Atsumu rose from the couch, appearing somewhat disheveled. The man with jet black hair couldn't help but chuckle at the shorter male's appearance. The sight of Atsumu in cute fuzzy fox socks, paired with his tousled hair, struck the taller man as utterly adorable. What are you laughing about? You even have an accent. Adorable. Huh? I meant to say, your socks and hair are cute. Atsumu glanced down at his socks and felt a deep blush spread across his cheeks. When he looked back up at the man with black eyes, his face was slightly blurred, but he could still make out the teasing smirk on his face. Feeling embarrassed, Atsumu instinctively covered his face with his hands. The man with black eyes gently removed Atsumu's hands from his face, his expression still playful and teasing. Don't cover your face. Your eyes are so pretty to be covered. Why are you teasing me? I hate being flustered. 'Cause you're cute. Yeah, sure. If this wasn't a dream, I'll call the cops for sexual harassment. The dark-haired man released his hands off Atsumu. Whoa. Who said that teasing was sexual harassment? I know my rights, you perv. Perv? You heard me. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. You better be. I'll beat you up. I'd like to see you try. Atsumu casually pulled up one sleeve of his sweater, revealing his impressively muscular bicep, clearly showing the results of his regular workouts. The man with black hair glanced at him with an amused expression, taking note of Atsumu's display of strength. You sure? Very much so. Impressive though. So why are we here? Honestly, I don't even know. This is weird. Are you one of my admirers? What? I don't even know how you look like. I can only tell you have golden eyes. So my face is blurry? He furrowed his brow, turning his head slightly with a puzzled expression. He wondered if the mysterious guy could see him. But when he glanced at the taller man, his features were too blurred to discern clearly. Yes. Why? 'Cause your face is also blurry. No way. I'm serious. Atsumu and the mysterious man sat side by side on the worn couch in the dimly lit, deserted library, their gazes locked. Both men puzzled as they strained to make out each other's features. They couldn't fathom why their faces remained obscured, despite the proximity and the earnestness in their eyes. Well, I realized something. I haven't caught your name. Same to you. My name is blank. What was that? I couldn't hear the last part. That's weird. Do we just make nicknames for each other? I guess. How about Kicho? Precious? Really? The only thing that came in mind. It sounds catchy. Okami? Really? You want to be called Wolf? The name's not for me. It's for you. You remind me of one. Kicho? Are you really going to call me that? Yeah. Okay. Are you pouting? I'm not. I can clearly see that you are pouting. It's alright. You don't have to pout. I swear. This is so embarrassing. It's not. It's in fact adorable. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who's getting teased at. Do you want to tease me? His voice had transformed, becoming deeper and smoother, tinged with a teasing and slightly raspy quality that seemed to glide effortlessly from his lips. His eyes bore directly into Atsumu, not just meeting his gaze but almost looking down upon him. Atsumu couldn't help but feel a shiver run up his spine at the intensity of the moment. He wondered inwardly, perplexed by how this man was able to evoke such a strong reaction in him. Atsumu found himself mesmerized by the deep, intense gaze of the man he called Okami, his eyes like captivating black orbs drawing him in. The desire to close the distance between them grew overwhelming, and they leaned towards each other. Just as their faces were nearing, Atsumu impulsively grabbed a nearby pillow and pushed it against Okami's face, causing him to fall back onto the couch. With surprising agility, Atsumu ended up straddling Okami's abdomen, pinning him down and asserting dominance in their unexpected tussle. Who's weak now? That's right. Yeah, can't say anything. That's for teasing me. Okami managed to free himself from the pillow, his hair tousled and his breathing heavy, giving him a disheveled appearance that hinted at something more intimate than their playful struggle. As he gathered himself, he noticed the position they were in. Atsumu, the faux blonde, now straddling him. Their eyes locked in a moment charged with unexpected intensity, both of their cheeks flushed with heat. A palpable tension lingering in the air as Okami opened his mouth, seemingly about to speak but halted by the realization of their close proximity and the implications it carried. Did you really have to suffocate me? Yes. I did. I'll do it again. I realized your accent just pops out of nowhere then. It disappears. I know. Why? Just found it interesting. You find everything interesting. I hate to stop this conversation but you're still on me. Atsumu's gaze inadvertently dropped down, and he noticed Okami's shirt had ridden up, revealing his toned abs and emphasizing their physical closeness. Feeling a surge of embarrassment, Atsumu quickly averted his eyes, realizing Okami had turned away, clearly uncomfortable with the situation as well. Sensing the need to diffuse the awkwardness, Atsumu swiftly moved off Okami and redirected their conversation to a different topic, hoping to ease the tension that had suddenly settled between them. So, are there any artists that you're into at the moment? Lamp. And I guess whatever my friends listen to. That's nice. What's your favorite song? Behind the Moon Shadow. Why are they your favorite band? They have relaxing music. Good for studying. I see you more as a 80s music listener. How can you tell? It just seems to fit you. I don't know. I understand. And you? And me? Yeah. What's your favorite artist? I don't really know. I like Western music, Korean music, and I also like Japanese indie music. I don't really have a specific taste. I see. I guess we both like Japanese indie music. I guess so. We could listen to some now. I think they have a record player. The person with raven hair discovered a record player nestled among the items and spotted an album that held special significance, a cherished creation, titled For Lovers, crafted in 2004 by their beloved band, Lamp. With careful hands, they gently set the vinyl onto the turntable and watched as it began to spin, filling the room with the soothing melody of its opening track. As the calming tones enveloped the space, their gaze shifted towards Atsumu, who returned the look with a knowing glance. The figure, with an air of authenticity, rose from their seat and approached Okami and the record player, drawn by the allure of the music and the moment it evoked. Who knew it still worked? I love this album. I can tell. Atsumu chuckled at the taller man. And your favorite album? Komaribi Dori Night. Or Lamp Genso. Lamp Genso. Very popular choice. In the dimly lit library, bathed in the soft glow of flickering candlelight, Okami and Atsumu stood facing each other, their eyes locked in a mesmerizing gaze that seemed to transcend time and space. The air around them crackled with an unspoken tension, thick with anticipation and a shared vulnerability that neither could deny. It was a moment suspended in the stillness of the day, where every breath drawn seemed to echo softly against the walls. Okami's deep, ebony eyes bore into Atsumu's golden orbs, each reflecting the flickering candle flames that danced in the background. The warmth of their closeness enveloped them, their breaths mingling in the small space between their faces. They swayed gently to the melodic strains of a hauntingly beautiful song playing softly in the background. A melody that resonated deeply within both of their souls as the music wrapped around them like a delicate embrace. Okami's hand tenderly lifted to cup Atsumu's cheek, his touch feather-light yet filled with a quiet intensity. Atsumu leaned into the touch, his eyes fluttering closed briefly before meeting Okami's once more, silently conveying a depth of emotion that words could not express. In that fleeting moment, they were cocooned in their own world, where nothing else existed except the electric connection that pulsed between them. With a gentle tug, Okami drew Atsumu closer, their bodies aligning in perfect harmony as they swayed in time to the rhythmic beat of the music. The distance between them dissolved with each passing second, until their lips finally brushed together in a tender, achingly sweet kiss. It was a kiss born of unspoken longing and an undeniable magnetic pull, soft and slow as if savoring the taste of each other's lips. Time seemed to stand still as they lost themselves in the sensation of their mouths moving together, in a delicate dance of love and longing. Okami's heartbeat echoed the rhythm of the music, a steady thrum that matched the quickening pace of Atsumu's own racing heart. Their kiss deepened gradually, each touch of their lips sending sparks of electricity coursing through their bodies, igniting a fire that had been smoldering beneath the surface. They were completely immersed in the intoxicating blend of emotions swirling between them: desire, tenderness, and a profound sense of connection that transcended mere physicality. In that embrace, they found solace and fulfillment, as if they had been searching for each other all along, finally coming together in a moment of pure, unadulterated bliss. As they finally pulled apart, their foreheads resting gently against each other, they shared a wordless exchange filled with unspoken promises and uncharted possibilities. The room seemed to pulse with the echo of their shared intimacy, the air heavy with the lingering scent of candles and the warmth of their intertwined spirits. And as they stood there, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight and the echo of their shared song, they knew with absolute certainty that they had made a mistake. Shit. I'm so sorry, Kicho. I was caught up in the moment. I was too. It's totally okay, I guess. The library crackled with an electric atmosphere, thick with tension, including an undeniable undercurrent of sexual tension. The young man sensed a familiarity with the other guy, as if they had been companions for years. It was as though Atsumu could effortlessly pinpoint anyone who had ever exuded such a feeling in his presence before. The air hummed with unspoken words and charged glances, hinting at a connection deeper than mere acquaintance. Do you usually act like this with other people? I don't. I don't understand why I'll act like this right now. I understand how you feel. I feel like I've known you since forever. Okami and Kicho, Atsumu, found themselves enveloped in the quiet sanctuary of the library, spending hours delving into deep conversations about their lives. They shared intimate moments of closeness, intertwined in gentle embraces and softly murmured confessions. The air between them crackled with a palpable tension, a magnetic pull that tempted them to bridge the gap between friendship and something more, teasing each other with playful glances and lingering touches, yet somehow resisting the urge to kiss. As the hours slipped away, the inevitable moment of parting approached. Atsumu felt a pang of reluctance deep him, a sense of unease at having to bid farewell. The library, once a haven of shared secrets and glances, now bore witness to their unspoken desires and the bittersweet ache of impending separation. Well, it's time to say goodbye. I'll see you soon. Right? Right. I had fun. Seriously. Same here. They moved closer to each other, slowly closing the distance between them, until they were nearly touching. The sound of words ceased, replaced by the record player playing a song that is calming. In the library, the golden glow of the lamplight bathed the surroundings in a warm, comforting light. Their thoughts seemed to synchronize, both yearning to embrace the other. The shorter man tentatively wrapped his arms around the person with raven black hair. In return, the individual with the dark hair pulled the shorter man close, enveloping him in a heartfelt hug. They remained locked in this embrace for what felt like an eternity, finding solace and reassurance in each other's arms amidst the tranquil ambience of the library. This feels nice. Why are your answers so dry? What do you want me to say? Oh my Kicho. I would like to make out with you. And never leave you. That's not what I meant. Atsumu forcefully pushed the raven-haired person away from the embrace, frustration evident on his face. He despised being teased. It stirred up a swarm of butterflies in his stomach, a sensation he found utterly unpleasant. The mere thought of it churned his emotions. Okami, on the other hand, gazed at Atsumu with a mixture of admiration and sadness, realizing that their precious moments together were fleeting, like the final moments before waking from a beautiful dream. Then, what do you mean? I meant like, ugh. I don't know. Just say what comes out of your mind. I guess I'll do that. So, what is it? I guess I want you to be comforting. Not awkward. But not flirty. Do you get what I mean? Totally. How would you want me to comfort you? Verbal affirmations. I don't mind skin-to-skin contact. But Elver been hanging with a guy who has misophobia. So it kind of rubbed off on me. I see what you mean. But we had skin-to-skin contact? I mean, this is a dream though. You're probably not even real. What if you're not real? I'm in a dream as well. That's weird. We are both in the same dream. Crazy coincidence. Very much so. I guess it's time to go now. I'll see you soon. Same here. Atsumu stirred awake from his slumber, his body still feeling the lingering effects of his fever. A persistent burning sensation. As he blinked his eyes open, he noticed how snugly tucked in he was in the comforting embrace of his cozy bed. Thoughts raced through his mind, particularly about the vivid dream he just had where he found himself kissing another man. Was it just a love-struck dream? He tried to rationalize it, not wanting to seem out of touch with reality. Glancing at the clock, he realized it was already 3 p.m. He must have dozed off for quite some time. The realization struck him that perhaps the man from his dream was also asleep during this hour, mirroring his own experience. This led him to wonder about the identity of that charismatic figure, who had captured his imagination in the dream world. Oh God. I kissed a man in my dream. And I liked it? I'm going crazy. Lock me up in an insane asylum. Atsumu on his bed, his face buried in a pillow, cheeks flushed with both embarrassment and the lingering heat of his fever. He kicked his legs nervously, a gesture reminiscent of a flustered schoolgirl. His mind was consumed with thoughts of what had transpired, replaying the events over and over again in his head. I'm actually going crazy. Why would I blush? Because of this? I'm weird. Please let me die. Atsumu heard someone enter his room, and glanced up to find Oikoa standing there. So, how are you feeling? A bit better. Can you grab me a mask? Why? I sneezed on you earlier. Oh. That. Yeah. So. Mask. I see. Walking germ factory. Oikoa went to fetch him a black mask, then put it on along with slippers to prevent slipping, all while wearing fluffy socks. Well, I don't know what to do. Want to make something to eat? I was supposed to buy groceries today. I guess that'll be a problem. I'll order some food online. Fine by me. Want to have a movie marathon? Yes. But in one condition. Please. No. 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 Alien movies. I'm actually gonna commit. Do it. But you won't have any of the food I ordered. Ugh. Fatty. What movie is it? Parasite. Oh. That movie. Yup. Well. I guess. Yay. Oikoa carefully placed the DVDs of Parasite into the player. A series where alien creatures infiltrate human society by taking over their hosts. The plot revolves around Shinichi Izumi, who battles these parasites after one fails to take over his brain and instead occupies his right hand, leading to an unusual partnership as they face other parasites together. Meanwhile, Oikoa was nestled comfortably with an alien plushie, a gift from Izumi. Atsumu, catching sight of this endearing scene, couldn't resist the urge to capture the moment. Stealthily, he pulled out his phone, aiming to snap a photo without Oikoa noticing. Amused by the contrast between the tough exterior Oikoa, often displayed and his soft spot for cute things like the plush in messages. Your BF is cuddling the Ike plush. You got him. Really? Yup. Do you want proof? Yeah. I do. Achu sent an attachment. I was saved an attachment. ... Laughing my ass off. It exposed you. Kill myself. I gave you a free wallpaper. Thanks. Anyways, Carver is getting suspicious. Bye. Bye. There was a sudden knock at the door, prompting Oikoa to move swiftly to answer it. Atsumu, curious, followed closely behind. The delivery driver stood on the doorstep, a petite figure that gave Atsumu the impression of being effeminate. Although cute, neither Oikoa nor Atsumu found him particularly attractive in their usual sense. Oikoa retrieved his wallet from the pocket of his sweats and paid the driver, adding a generous tip. As they began to close the door, they heard a faint voice call out. Wait. I was wondering if you are like, gay. What does this have to do with food? Well, I was wondering if I can get your number? TSK. Why? Carver. Don't be so harsh on the man. I thought you were attractive. Sure. Why not? Oikoa handed over his number to the delivery man, who received it with obvious excitement, his eyes sparkling. Atsumu, witnessing this exchange, was taken aback, his expression a mix of shock and confusion. He couldn't believe his eyes. Oikoa had never given his number to a guy before, especially not someone who didn't fit his usual type of muscular, shorter guys like Izumi Hajime, who could effortlessly lift him without breaking a sweat. Oikoa glanced back at Atsumu and said goodbye to the driver with a polite smile. As he closed the door, he turned to see Atsumu's utterly flabbergasted expression. What? Did you really give a scrawny man your number? Whoa. Repeat that again. Oikoa. Toru. Did you give that man your number? Chill. I usually give them Makis' number, in this case I gave him mine. Why? He seemed persistent. You already know I like buff men. Exactly. Why did you give a man who's 5'5" your number? Dunno. I'm gonna block him anyways. God. Yikes. You're gonna be the death of me. I'm glad I'm saving the world from your stupidity. Hurry, the food's gonna get cold. Oikoa and Atsumu approached the island counter. Oikoa placed an order for sweet and spicy Korean fried chicken, a dish he particularly enjoyed. Meanwhile, Atsumu opted for seaweed soup with a side of fried rice. Due to his sickness, Atsumu removed his mask and dug into their respective meals. They bantered and joked about Oikoa's affectionate nickname for Izumi, teasing him good-naturedly. Inspired by their playful mood, Oikoa decided to personalize the Ike plushie that Izumi had purchased for him. They had bought a pair of plushies that day so their toys could be companions. While Atsumu eagerly devoured his food, Oikoa gazed fondly at the plushie, finding joy in the simple act of decorating it. A testament to the thoughtful gesture from Izumi. I swear. Just ask him out. You're like a teen girl who can't even look at her crush. I'm not. R2. Hold on. A rando texted me. He couldn't wait after we were done eating. SMH. I guess not. What is he saying? I'll just show you the texts. Alright. In messages. Niuu's smiling face. Ni. This is the tall guy with the huge order. Right. So you're the delivery driver? Yeah. What do you need? I'm in the middle of eating. I was wondering if you wanted to grab some drinks sometime. It's fine if you don't want to. I just thought you were so attractive. Look. I don't know how to break it to you. But I'm in your team. My team? I'm confused. What do you mean? Receiving end? So what if you receive gifts? I don't see a problem. Oh my lord. I take it the way you take it. Take what? I'm lost. I like receiving. Oh. I'll change your mind, winking face. No thanks. Carver has blocked you. Oh. My god. Atsumu stared at the messages on his phone screen. His expression shifting rapidly from surprise to shock. The spoon he held, laden with fried rice, slipped from his fingers and clattered loudly onto his plate. His mouth fell open in disbelief. A mixture of astonishment and mild disgust crossing his features. Quickly realizing how open his reaction was, he instinctively covered his mouth with one hand, trying to process the unexpected content of the messages. Meanwhile, Oikawa chuckled softly, finding amusement in Atsumu's reaction. He shook his head lightly, commenting on the sender's apparent cluelessness, adding a playful jab about how dense the guy seemed to be. His laughter filled the room as he continued to jest, contrasting with Atsumu's stunned silence. I'm literally, speechless. What did I just read? Honestly, I'm shocked myself. Actually, I can change your mind. Do I look like I give? Honestly. You are honestly the straightest look gay man ever seen. Do gay men need to look like literal women? I mean, you're like basically half gay and look like a Greek goddess. Or you flatter me. But I guess they are used to the defenseless stereotypes. Ugh, that's so stupid. It really is. After their conversation, Atsumu and Oikawa settled back to continue watching the movie. The alien plushie Iwaizumi had given Oikawa sat comfortably beside him, almost like a silent observer of their evening. The film, Parasite, unfolded with its gripping narrative of alien parasites infiltrating human bodies and the ensuing struggle for survival. Oikawa, engrossed in the storyline, found it fascinating how the parasites adapted and evolved, mirroring some of the complexities of human nature. He occasionally glanced at Atsumu, noticing his friend's occasional restlessness. Atsumu's mind, however, was preoccupied with a different kind of turmoil. The dream he had been mulling over since waking up that morning kept intruding into his thoughts. It was a kiss, a vivid, almost lifelike experience that had left him strangely unsettled yet inexplicably drawn to its memory. Atsumu couldn't shake off the feeling of longing it had stirred within him. He knew it was irrational to fixate on a dream, to yearn for something so intangible. Yet it felt significant. Almost as if it had awakened a dormant desire within him. What puzzled Atsumu the most was the person in his dream. The man was unlike anyone he had ever encountered, mysterious, alluring, and exuding an air of confidence that both intrigued and unnerved him. It wasn't just the kiss that lingered in his mind. It was the presence of this enigmatic figure who seemed to know him deeply, intimately, in a way that defied logic. Beside him, Oikawa noticed Atsumu's distracted state but chose not to pry. He respected his friend's privacy, understanding that everyone had their moments of introspection and inner turmoil. Oikawa himself had gone through similar phases. Moments of uncertainty and self-discovery that were as essential to growth as they were uncomfortable. Eventually, the movie concluded, leaving them both with lingering thoughts and unspoken feelings. Oikawa glanced at Atsumu, who seemed lost in his own thoughts. Without a word, Oikawa reached out and placed a comforting hand on Atsumu's shoulder, offering silent support and understanding. Atsumu looked at Oikawa, gratitude and a hint of vulnerability in his eyes. He knew he could count on Oikawa, His reliable friend who always seemed to know when to offer comfort without needing explanations. With a small nod of appreciation, Atsumu returned the gesture, acknowledging the unspoken bond between them that transcended words. They sat in companionable silence for a while longer, the weight of unspoken emotions hanging in the air. Eventually, Atsumu broke the quietude with a soft sigh, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Thanks, Toru," he murmured, the words carrying more meaning than he could express in that moment. Oikawa returned a warm smile, silently acknowledging the unspoken depths of their conversation. Together, they switched off the TV. Atsumu headed to the kitchen, retrieving the pills to quell his stubborn fever. He absent-mindedly discarded the mask he had forgotten to wear earlier, tossing it into the trash. Later, seated comfortably on the couch, Atsumu and Oikawa engaged in lighthearted gossip while occasionally styling each other's hair. Atsumu took care not to pass on his cold to Oikawa. The evening wore on peacefully. Afterwards, they indulged in face masks, chatting animatedly about hidden gem shops and restaurants they hoped to explore in Tokyo. "There's this very good boba spot, and it's near a record shop. We should go. After you're not a walking germ factory. I'll consider it." "Yay. Do you mind if I stay over again?" "I don't." After an hour of animated conversation, they took turns using the bathroom, focusing on their showers and skincare routines. Atsumu even had a toothbrush ready for Oikawa, a small gesture that spoke volumes about their closeness. Once they were refreshed and pampered, Oikawa gathered some cozy blankets and settled onto the plush couch, drifting off into dreamland, a serene expression gracing his features. Meanwhile, Atsumu, feeling a surge of fondness, couldn't resist capturing the moment. He snapped a picture of Oikawa in his peaceful sleep, intending to share it with the brunette's future boyfriend, whom he affectionately referred to as Iwa-chan. Maybe today wasn't as bad. Sakusa slowly blinked awake, the remnants of a vivid dream still clinging to his senses like a soft haze. The clock on his bedside table blinked 3:07 p.m. in red digital numbers, and sunlight filtered through the half-drawn curtains, casting warm stripes of light across his otherwise dimly lit bedroom. He lay there for a moment, disoriented yet acutely aware of the unusual intensity of the dream that had just slipped away from his grasp. In the dream, he had kissed a man named Kicho, someone shorter and more compact than Sakusa's own towering 6 feet 2 inches frame. Kicho had sported faux blonde hair that caught the light in a way that made it seem almost ethereal, and his eyes had shimmered like liquid gold under a soft, dream-like glow. The contrast between Kicho's striking appearance and Sakusa's own reserved demeanor was stark. Yet in the dream, Sakusa had found himself surprisingly bold, engaging in gestures and acts of intimacy he had never dared to entertain in reality. As he lay there, the memory of Kicho lingered vividly in his mind. His cheeks tinged with a faint blush as he recalled the sensation of Kicho's lips against his own. How had he summoned such courage in his dreams? Teasing and kissing Kicho with a confidence that eluded him when awake? It was a question that both intrigued and unsettled him. Stirring emotions he struggled to decipher. What fascinated Sakusa the most was the mystery surrounding Kicho himself. In the dream, Kicho had ignited an unfamiliar excitement within him, each fleeting thought of the man causing Sakusa's heart to quicken its pace. He realized with a pang of curiosity that he didn't even know Kicho's real name. Yet the desire to unravel the identity of this enigmatic figure consumed his thoughts. Kicho's disheveled bed hair had been endearing, and Sakusa could distinctly recall the cute pair of fuzzy fox socks Kicho had worn, a detail that seemed trivial, yet oddly intimate in the context of his dream. Kicho had also displayed a tendency to become easily flustered, a trait that had both amused and captivated Sakusa. His fondness for Japanese indie bands had sparked a chord of shared interest between them, adding layers of complexity to the dream encounter. One particularly poignant moment lingered in Sakusa's memory. The gentle kiss he had placed on Kicho's forehead. An act that had felt strangely intimate yet satisfyingly tender. In the dream's fleeting reality, It had been a gesture loaded with unspoken emotions, leaving an imprint that now resonated with him in wakefulness. As Sakusa replayed these fragments of his dream in his mind, he became increasingly aware of a physical response stirring within him, an involuntary reaction to the vivid recollection of the dream's intensity. He shifted uncomfortably, feeling the subtle tightening of his pants, a reminder of the lingering effects of his dream-induced arousal. Caught in the liminal space between the reality of waking and the fantasy of his dreams, Sakusa found himself grappling with conflicting emotions and desires. The allure of Kicho and the tantalizing mystery that surrounded him had left Sakusa yearning for more, even as he attempted to shake off the lingering sensations of his dreamlike encounter. I might kill myself. Did I really get hard? Please tell me I'm joking. Sakusa looked down and saw a bulge in his pants. He groaned at the fact he got an erection from someone random. Oh my god. I hate my life. I actually do. First that stupid Mia twin decides to waste my time. Then this. I have practice later. The man with raven black hair walked into the bathroom, the cool tiles beneath his feet contrasting with the warmth of the room. With deliberate movements, he proceeded to undress, removing each article of clothing with a sense of routine. Folding them neatly, he set them aside before turning towards the shower. The sound of running water filled the space as he adjusted the temperature to his liking, feeling the soothing spray cascade over his skin as he stepped beneath it. Closing his eyes momentarily, he let the water wash away the tension of the day, his thoughts shifting to this problem down there. After a while it went down due to the cold water. Taking up the shampoo, he lathered his hair, his fingers massaging his scalp with care, ensuring every strand was cleansed. He then moved on to his body, applying soap methodically, cleansing away the sweat and grime accumulated from earlier activities. His curls, a point of personal pride, received extra attention, ensuring they were thoroughly washed and conditioned, ready for the rigorous workout yet to come. Exiting the shower, he wrapped a towel around himself, the terrycloth absorbing the excess water as he moved to the closet. Selecting a comfortable shirt and a pair of sweatpants, he dressed swiftly, the soft fabrics a stark contrast to the refreshing coolness of the shower. Turning to the mirror, he scrutinized his reflection, a critical eye assessing his appearance. With a satisfied nod, he proceeded to his next routine, carefully coaxing his curls into place, employing a regimen that ensured they fell just so, framing his face with effortless style. Next came skincare, a meticulous process involving cleansing and moisturizing the products chosen for their effectiveness in maintaining his complexion. Each step was executed with practiced precision, a testament to his dedication to self-care. Emerging from the bathroom, he made his way to the kitchen, the aromas of cooking filling the air as he prepared a nourishing meal. Ingredients were chopped with skill, pots and pans orchestrated with culinary finesse, creating a dish that promised both sustenance and satisfaction. As he savored the meal he had prepared, the day's earlier stresses seemed to melt away. The routine, meticulously followed, had not only refreshed his body but also calmed his mind. He still wonders, who is Kicho? So baby, come and get it. 원하는 걸 말해봐 전부.